Welcome to my most recent attempt to make a video in less than 5 minutes to tell you everything you need to know. So, you'll notice here on the screen I have a copy of the quiz that was due a few weeks ago about meaning. And a very central part of burnout is to conquer burnout by holding true to your individual meaning in life. So determining what really gives your life meaning and who you really are is something that can empower you. The first question doesn't have a correct answer, but when we look at the different choices, they kind of insinuate the answer. Tiana's song Almost There suggests that her career goals and desire to build a Black-owned woman's business give her life meaning. Moana, on the other hand, sings about the sea because she gains meaning from being in sync with nature and connected to the natural world. Cinderella, on the other hand, gains meaning through her powerful relationship and love for others, particularly her prince, but possibly someday her children as well. So those are some different ways that meaning imports on your life. In your discussion responses about meaning, you did a really great job speaking to one another respectfully and very supportively, yet in the discussions you always want to bring in some aspect of what you've learned in class and what you've learned from our sources to pump up the value of your discussion responses. So for example, when you write those discussion responses, you might encourage your friend who's suffered a loss to say, hey, I know right now you might feel like life has no meaning or no purpose because of your loss, but you are someone whose work ethic is like Tiana's, or someone who cares about their family as much as Cinderella, or someone whose connection to nature and animals in the natural world is like Moana. You want to bring in one of those affirmations to remind yourself or your friend who you are in your core, what drives you and makes you happy. So you can use meaning to cope with trauma, and you can use meaning just to deal with stress. So when we look at these answers, the only thing that isn't true here is that meaning is always fun, because sometimes if your purpose or your meaning is to deal with a chronic illness, as it says, that's not fun. It's like eating your vegetables. It's not potato chips, but it's something that enables you to persevere and to continue to live your life to its best potential. So what is the positive final value of your life? That was the question about the obituary. What is it that your contribution will be? Are you an entrepreneur? Are you creative and artistic? Are you someone who is incredibly empathetic? And I did see that in some of your responses, possibly in all of them too. So make sure that you tell yourself or your friend that you add to this post, your life is coherent and it transcends chaos because you matter, and you matter because, and that's part of the essence of bringing in that sense of meaning to your answers. So you can use the quizzes and integrate the specific focus details from the quizzes to make your discussion responses better. Now you can go back and you can add a little bit to your discussions if you would like to improve your score. Where the heck is that discussion? Okay, I know. Sorry, it's way down here. So when you open up this discussion, you see the prompt. And it asks about when did you really feel a moment of meaning in your life? Several times I didn't see that aspect of the response. Unless you have a child, then I probably did see it. Also, in the rubric, there is always a quality of evidence, which simply means that you pull in some of those keywords from the quiz like I just showed you, from the reading, from whatever source we're building knowledge and applying what we learned from the Nagoskis about meaning and burnout in the discussion. One last thing to show you, and I'm sure I've gone over the time, but please forgive me. I figured out how I mixed up what week it is, and that's because I tried to do Angela Davis and Indigenous Peoples Day and Shirley Chisholm apparently all in one week, and we can't skip any of those things. Those are all important and significant because Indigenous Peoples Day is connected to womanism and feminist movements, and Angela Davis is my inspiration. So I have updated our checklist yet again. If you want a printable copy, there's a printable PDF right here. But in this list, if you haven't already done one of these assignments and it is in black, don't worry about it. If you haven't done it or would like to, or I'm sorry, if you haven't done it or if you would like to redo it and it's in purple, please do it. Because these are the assignments that I would like you to focus on to build your base of knowledge going forward. And finally, the most important thing that only 6 people have done is the meaningful assignments. When you have told me what kind of assignments will be meaningful to you for the rest of the semester, I can show you a list of what you've done and how many points you have so far, and a list of things you can choose from in order to do the rest of the points to earn for the rest of the semester. So please do your meaningful assignments. That just disappeared, but it's a discussion, and in the discussion, several people so far have said you want to continue to talk about inspirational figures and to use the medium of films and documentaries to learn about Black women leaders and feminist leaders. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to find meaningful assignments. What I would like to add, though, is please tell me, do you want to talk when you do your, so let's say for your meaningful assignment, you want to do what several people have already said. I like the movies. I like the documentaries. Okay, do you want a quiz? Do you want a discussion? Do you want both? How will we apply what you learn from watching various quizzes and documentaries? That's just something I need to know in your response to this discussion. So I'm going to stop because this is too long. Ask me when you have questions. I hope you do, and have a great week.